Hi, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to paint this piece, or we're going to work on this piece. I'm going to see what I can get done within the next 1 to 2 hours. Going to try to finish up the face with you guys. This is the Evil Queen. If you have been following the little series that I'm doing, in the last video we did Snow White. So now it's time for the Evil Queen. I'm doing a princess and a villain. And this is the third couple of characters in the series I'm working on. So yeah, I'm going to bring you closer and we're going to work on this and sit back, relax, and enjoy. Okay, so starting on this eye, the left eye. Today is a really interesting day because it is a snow day here where I live, and we rarely get snow days, like once every few years. And because of that, the entire city shuts down because we don't have the infrastructure for winter storms. So my husband's been working from home all day and he's been in meetings. So I'm going to try to squeeze in this little painting session before he might have to hop back on the phone. You'll hear him in the background. It's not very relaxing. So the Evil Queen usually has like a cowl, like that bald cap thing that she wears. And I personally hate it. I don't like it, and so for my version I just decided to give her a short haircut, little finger waves, because all of the figures in my my little series, they all have sort of kind of vintage hairstyles. So if they have hair, like Maleficent, I kept her horns, of course. They're iconic. But with the Evil Queen, I wanted her to have hair instead of that cowl thing, but to still have her same silhouette. So I kept the crown the same points on her crown, and then gave her short hair. right now I'm just mapping out all the shadowy bits around her eye. I really like how these colors are coming together. I wasn't sure at first, but I think they're coming together nicely. Kind of looks like a sunset with the reds and pinks and purples. I think it complements her well. The snow is already starting to melt outside. And I don't think it's going to snow anymore. That's very pretty. There are a lot of kids playing outside earlier. Because again, it's a marble. We do not get snow like that. My palette is kind of limited, although I feel like it looks limited on a palette. Like usually I have a wide array of different colors, but this time I didn't really have a wide selection, but there are so many colors on her face. It's very like I'm packing a lot of color in. Well, I hope it doesn't look bad or too crowded. I don't think it does. Just carving out the shape. She has a pretty intense cat eye. I thought that would really highlight her evilness. I think I highlighted it pretty well. For those that are tuning in to this series just now, I am painting on fabric that I have gessoed. It's cotton fabric, and this fabric I already had on hand. Usually I go to a fabric store to to find one that would go, perfectly. But I already have this one on hand, and I wasn't sure I was going to use this one. I didn't know what would go well with her. But I rewatched Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, the cartoon, and there's a scene, I think, when she's sitting at her throne, and she has it looks like peacock feathers around her. Yeah, like peacock feathers around her. And they were, the color of peacocks. So blues, and, turquoise, and purple, I think. And so I thought, well, maybe I can find a fabric that has peacock feathers in it. I couldn't really find anything that I liked, and then I was looking through all the different fabrics that I already had on hand, and I saw this one, and it has these paisleys. Can't see that. This paisley. And I thought it's kind of peacock-ish, and I took a picture of it, and I brought it into Procreate with a drawing that I'd already mapped out, and it fit. It looked nice with the composition, so I just went with this, and I think it complements it well. One good thing about the snow day is that there aren't a lot of cars going by today, because everyone's just at home. Trying to be really quiet because eyeliner. Whenever I'm doing eyeliner on me, I can't talk. So same with painting. I feel like I very much do approach painting the eyes like it's makeup. At least if it's a portrait with makeup. I feel like that I'm applying it right now. trying to create a little gradient right here. I should be using one brush to blend and one brush to apply paint, but I've gotten so used to wiping in between. It's just my go-to. Instead of holding a bunch of brushes, I apply the paint, then wipe, and then go back in, do a little blend, and wipe. Trying to make sure these little corner wings match up too. Sorry, I'm not talking much. This part is like the part I try to focus the most. The eyes. Never want to mess up the eyes. So today is the 21st, and this past weekend, it's a Tuesday. This past weekend has felt like a whirlwind, I think, on social media. because of the TikTok ban and then it coming back. And yeah, I'm not a big TikTok user. I generally just get on when someone sends me something to look at on there, and then I get back off. And I'm not really a lover of social media. I'm on it out of necessity. Because I'm an artist, I have to, or at least I feel like I have to, have some sort of online presence. But if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be on it. Now, I like YouTube, but YouTube feels different. YouTube doesn't really feel that much like a social media. I don't know. And yeah. So, also, the inauguration just happened, and I'm just over everything. So I haven't been online since Sunday night. So I generally don't even know what's going on with the ban, or if anything else has happened, or anything with the inauguration. I just know that it happened. And I've just been painting and trying to get this series done. Pretty much. I'm changing the color of her sclera, so I'm just trying to see if it looks good, because in my original drawing I have it as red, but I didn't like how the red looked especially up against the green eyes. Even though red and green are complementary colors, I don't know, it just looked like she looked really tired instead of it just being a part of her look, if that makes sense. So I decided to go with more of a fuchsia. I liked it over here, I'm making sure I like it over here. Always double checking, especially with the way I paint, because I go piece by piece instead of just going all over. I do a lot of checking. I know a lot of artists, they go all over the face. They're gonna do the eyes, they do both the eyes, but I don't, so just making sure everything matches. Going in with a very cool green. black, sort of blending it in. And then coming in with more true green. You can hear Kairos at my door. I have the door closed. And I never have the door closed. And I'm sure she's just like, what the hell? But I can't get up and let her in right now. And she has her dad out there. Going back and forth, bringing in light, and then darkening it in some areas, darkening it in some areas. It's a lot of back and forth. Right now, using the 3 colors: black, Viridian, which is like the cooler dark green, and I can't remember the name of this true green color. It's like permanent green, maybe. And and so then it all kind of comes to life once you turn the lights on. Bring in white. A little bit lighter. finishing up all the shadowing. For this. Smoky eye, she's like that one. Before I add in the eyelashes. I feel like eyes look so weird to me until they have eyelashes. Once again, I'm being really quiet because eyelashes. Gotta concentrate. See, that one is too much, but we're gonna go with it because I did not mean for that to be that high. Jesus Christ. I feel like I should make that match over there. Even though it's like really dark over here anyway. I started not to use this brush, but I just picked it up and rolled with it. So she has big old fluffy lashes, I guess. I mean, they were gonna be dramatic anyway, but probably a tad bit more dramatic than I originally wanted them. Just by like a centimeter or so. Or I'm American, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about with centimeters. Just kidding. Just by like a millimeter or so. I don't know. I might tone it down. Let me see if I can try. Okay, so I did a little surgery and I brought them down. You're probably like, girl, they're still dramatic as fuck. But I do want them to be dramatic. I just didn't want them as high. So we brought them down. Yeah. So, yeah, I kind gonna start working on, the cheek and whatnot. I'm gonna work on this for like 30 more minutes before I need to go eat. So, yeah. So my thought was I wanted her to be mostly red because the color I think of when I think of Evil Queen is red, even though her outfit is mostly black and purple. She just gives red vibes. So I wanted her skin to be red, and to kind of tie in with the Snow White I just did, where part of her skin was red. And then I decided to do the highlights more in a purple, and then that, caused that's the heat in the background. I can't turn it off because it's so cold. It kind of makes an annoying sound. Anyway, so I wanted to do all the shadowing in purple, and then that kind of created some of the pinks as well. And I just love how these are all coming together. I'm using a lot of pinks and oranges and reds, purple. A lot of transparent colors as well. Like the darker colors are a little bit more transparent, so I'll have to go over them again, like down here, to really get more of an opaque look. Should probably switch up brushes. This one's kind of small. I think in the last video I mentioned how I needed to get more filberts, which are my favorite, and I did. I got a couple. That's what I'm using. That's one of them. And the other one I just put down. So many different color shifts. So I don't, so I paint people obviously, but I don't paint them in, usual flesh tones. And I started off just doing more of a monochromatic color palette, like these paintings right here behind. They're going to be monochromatic. They're going to be in green, and that's usually what I did. I would paint a portrait in a monochromatic tone. So like I said, how I wanted her to be red, it would be all red. But I'd say within like the last 2 years, really been branching out into these weird color patterns or weird palettes, and I'm liking it. When I first started painting, I didn't really know how something like that would look. But having an iPad and getting to map out the colors and test out how things will look, it's really helped. For instance, this, when I first colored it, before I decided I was going to use this background, it was a lot. Okay, it looks warm, I know it looks warm, but there was no pink in it. It was all, it was warmer. And it kind of looked stark up against this background. Like it didn't match that well. And granted, like this is more a cooler background, but I think somehow the cooler pink and then the purples tie it into it more. So I'm adding in my usual skeletal feature thing. I know I say this probably every video. I don't know if I put it in, but I know I said it last video. I don't know how long this is going to be because I am just doing a little like 2-hour session. I think I'm gonna start doing that instead of painting up to a certain point in the painting, because it'll help me get the videos out faster. Because when I'm, like, say I did this whole, I did a video of this whole thing up until this point, I would have been like days of filming like it usually is for my other videos, and then to wait to film that and then edit it. And this way, if I just do little painting sessions of a part of the piece, I can edit it faster. I can film it faster, obviously, and then I can edit it faster and upload more consistently. So I think that's what I'm going to do from now on. Because a lot of times I hold off painting because it's not a good filming time, and so the painting will sit for a while until I have a good time to actually film and there's not a lot going on. And that makes finishing the painting go by so much slower, and of course getting out a video so much slower. So yeah, but I think I'm gonna call it here. When I come back, we will finish this up. And yeah, thanks for joining me. It's been about an hour and a half, 2 hours, I think. We finished out the eye, which is cool. And yeah, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Good night.